Yes, guys, it's Game of the Year 2023, where I take all the good games from 2023 that I've featured on my channel, and I look at them and I pick the best from each category. This isn't like other Game of the Year videos where people worry about pissing off developers, publishers, or the PR contacts. I don't give a fuck. This is what I think was the most satisfying games that I played in each of the categories that's up for grabs. My favourite games. It's about the fun, it's about the game design, it's about what made me go, yes. And I'm happy to say, guys, it has been a very, very good year for games. It just has. I've played some belters this year, some truly groundbreaking games as well. Some really, really good stuff. I wouldn't say it's been a great year, but it's certainly been a very, very good year. Certainly better than any of the last 4 or 5 years. And it saddens me, genuinely saddens me, to say that there isn't a single AAA game in any of these categories. None. None of them were good enough. Not one was good enough except for a remake. One remake was good enough to get into these categories. And that's a travesty, guys. But thank goodness for indie and AA games. All the console people have left now. But that's just... let's get on with it. The first category is early access, and this is one of my favourite categories because this is where you get a lot of innovation, and some of these games, in fact all of these games that I'm going to mention, are fucking great. Really good games in early access. And all these people who say, I don't play early access games because they're not finished. Well, that means you shouldn't play any AAA games then, because there isn't a single fucking AAA game released this year that was finished. Oh, a day one patch will fix these horrible stuttering issues. Oh, another patch and then another patch and 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 another patch, and it's not finished, is it? No. That's hypocrisy there. I did a video on it. Look it up. So early access games we have, and the rules are this, guys. If your game is in early access, it can't win anything other than early access. That's it. It's not allowed in any other category, and it's certainly not allowed in Game of the Year. Just the early access category. So we've got a few. Let's get on. We have Fabledom, the city builder. Really good game. Sons of the Forest, guys. That was a sequel to The Forest, a survival game. Really good stuff. The brilliant, and I mean brilliant, War of Rights. I was playing it just for a couple of hours. I think it was last night, or the night before, it was 2 nights ago. Bloody great game, this. Starship Troopers Extermination. Had some brilliant streams on this. A really, really good game. Thronefall, a simple, cheap game, but my goodness, what a great game Thronefall was. Excellent stuff. Pioneers of Pagonia, the closest thing we've had to a true Settlers game for bloody decades. It's going to be a belt of this, Pioneers of Pagonia. It's still early doors with it, but really, really good fun. And then we have the absolutely fantastic Lethal Company. Lethal Company, guys. What a great game this is. I haven't got a co-op multiplayer category because most of these are co-op multiplayer. Well, a lot of these are co-op multiplayer. And Lethal Company is just fantastic. Definitely would have been up there for Game of the Year if it wasn't in early access. And finally we have Rip Out, the first person shooter where your gun's alive. It was quite a novel little game, this. Really, really good fun. But the winner is definitely Lethal Company.
Oh, right, I see what's happened to it. I know. Why is this? I want a shovel.
Have you just bought a shovel?
It tried to get me to buy a shovel.
Yeah, I bought a shovel too. I typed in that command. Now the next category is role-playing games. I've only got 2 in here. Role-playing games, we have War Tales. Now War Tales was a really, is a really, really fun RPG. And the other one is Baldur's Gate 3. I think we all know which is winning. It's going to be Baldur's Gate 3. A fantastic game. What can I say about Baldur's Gate 3? Co-op, looks great. Amazing voiceovers. I mean, really, really amazing voiceovers. Very deep. Some great classes to play. Just a great role-playing game. Next category, guys, is strategy. We have a lot for this. We have Great War Western Front. I loved this game when it came out. Really, really good stuff. Depicting the battles of World War I. Really good strategy game, really good fun to play. Jagged Alliance 3. Now I hadn't played, I think this was my first Jagged Alliance game. I really, really enjoyed it. In fact, I think this got almost, I think it was 8 or 9 out of 10. Really good fun, Jagged Alliance 3. Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew, another turn-based game. Really good as well. I think this was from the same developers who made that game that won Best Strategy Game of the Year the other year. What was it called? Yeah, that one. And then we have High Fleet. This was groundbreaking. Never played a game quite like High Fleet. Very technical, very deep, very immersive. I think probably the most immersive game of 2023 is definitely High Fleet. Really good stuff, excellent customization, brilliant stuff from Microprose, the kings of strategy. And then finally we had Mahokensi. Mahokensi, guys. A cheap £10 game, but brilliant. The Ways of the Samurai, guys. A really, really fun game. And we have copies of Mahokensi to give away on tonight, in tonight's stream on Twitch. So be up for that. There can be only one though, guys, on strategy. And it's High Fleet. Of course it's High Fleet. Fantastic game and a contender for Game of the Year.
Roger that. Godspeed.
Next up, we have another huge category for 2023, first-person shooters. There was a ton of them, guys, an absolute ton. We had Atomic Heart, which I loved. A lot of people didn't like Atomic Heart. I don't know why. It's a solid, brilliant, fun game where you have a mix of powers and guns. I mean, brilliant, bloody brilliant. Then we had Trepang 2, probably the best gunplay I've played in a game ever. Absolutely fantastic game. You literally feel like the Matrix when you're playing this game. It has slow down time effects and all that. It's brilliant. Really good game. Then you had Remnant 2. Now, Remnant from the Ashes, I love that game. Remnant 2 was even better. It's like Dark Souls with guns and co-op. Definitely good game. Robocop. Bit of a dark horse, Robocop. It was flawed in so many ways, but simply brilliant in so many other ways. A terrific game. Really, really good game, Robocop. And then how about Bolt Gun? The Warhammer, another Warhammer game, Bolt Gun. People didn't like that because it was kind of retro-y. I loved it. Bolt Gun was fucking great, guys. The guns were great, the monsters were great, it was fast, it was just brilliant to play. But there can be only one again. And I'm giving it to Remnant 2. I think Remnant 2 was the best first-person shooter this year. Simply brilliant. And you got a German Shepherd dog. With one of the classes, you could mix the classes up. Do you know what? Remnant 2 has a good chance of winning Game of the Year. Brilliant game. It's up. It's going forward to Game of the Year. Mac, all the winners go forward to game. Shut up. The next category is horror. Now, we had two that I covered. Now I have played Resident Evil 4 Remake. I don't really like it. I'm 2 hours into the game and I don't really like it. I will be reviewing it in 2024, very early on. Sometime over the next week or two. But so far, it's just meh. Anyway, horror. Dead Space, the remake. Brilliant. Brilliant. I loved it. I mean, I didn't like the first Dead Space that much because of the horrible field of view that you had. And it was a bit clunky, let's be honest. But Dead Space, the remake, despite some problems that it had, bloody hell, guys. Guys, I loved it. I really enjoyed Dead Space. But it's a remake, isn't it? It's a remake. That's a problem. Then we had Amnesia the Bunker. Now, hey, Amnesia's got a long pedigree in horror. Really enjoyed that. The ones previous to that weren't that good. They kind of went through a bad patch with the pigs when they went all piggy. But after the pigs, they've picked themselves up with the Bunker, a fantastic game. But it wasn't as good as Dead Space. I'm giving it to Dead Space. A terrific, terrific horror game. Now, there is not real categories for the next few games. These are honourable mentions of great games that came out this year. We have Time Wasters. It's like a Vampire Survivors thing. There is a lot of competition for that this year, but they're nearly all in early access. And Time Wasters is a brilliant game. Definitely worth having a look at. Then we have the puzzle game Viewfinder. I don't know if you remember me reviewing that. That was terrific. So weird, where you could just take a picture and then walk into the picture and alter stuff. It was just fantastic. And how about Dredge? Dredge was an awesome game. Such a chill out game, but a bit of tense as well. I mean, some say it could be a little horror-y. Isn't that? That's not a word. So Dredge, definitely worth a buy, guys. Now it's time for the actual game of the year. And we have 3 contenders. Now, the first contender came out in 2021. It didn't come out in 2023, but it only got reviewed in my channel on 2023, and that's the amazing, groundbreaking game High Fleet from Microprose. A brilliant immersive game. In fact, it is single-handedly the most immersive game that I've played this year. Steep learning curve, but a truly great game. It doesn't show much graphically, but my goodness, audio it's the best audio. It's got the best audio and the best immersion in the game. It's just so immersive. A brilliant game. A game I need to play more of, to be honest with you. It's something that I haven't played as much as I'd really wanted to this year, for one reason or another, but I'm going to try and get back into that in 2024. We then have Remnant 2, which I've mentioned, a Souls-like shooter. A really good one as well, even better than its first one. So usually sequels get worse, this sequel got better. A brilliant game. It ran a bit dodgy for some people, but for me it was great. Never had any crashes. Great co-op game, really good. And then of course Baldur's Gate 3, which is cleaning up the Game of the Year awards all over the world. You know, rightly so. I think Baldur's Gate, well, there's not a lot bad with Baldur's Gate. It's immersive. It's got brilliant classes, really good classes, good missions, good combat, co-op, and the voiceovers. I keep mentioning the voiceovers. They're just top draw, Premier League stuff. The voiceovers. It's a toughie. This is tough. They're all better than each other in certain areas. Another thing that doesn't help in choosing is they're all completely different types of games. High Fleet is just pure strategy, immersive strategy. Remnant is lips out, fire, die. And Baldur's Gate 3 is don't open that scroll Mac, you will set fire to your own team. I can take them out.
19.
I'm going to away them.
I think this is fat ladies warming up, guys.
Yeah, they're going to get fired here.
Mac will save you. Look at him. There he goes.
Fucking shoot us.
Oh. Backfire.
Back in action.
I've never used the scroll before.
Holding hands is a 15-foot cone in front of you.
Oh.
I was tired. Oh, that was hilarious.
F8, anyone? It's got to be Baldur's Gate 3. Game of the year. It's got to be Baldur's Gate 3. I honestly can't not give it to Baldur's Gate 3. It just had too much right with it. There's nothing really touched that. For what it is, it's a role-playing game, and it just did role-playing better than any other game did shooting better or strategy better. It just is. It's got to be Baldur's Gate 3. So there you go, guys. Let's hope AAA sorts itself out next year, because this year it was a travesty. But all hail indie, independent studios, guys. Brilliant. Light years ahead with innovation, ideas, which is innovation, Mackie Dick, execution, and just damn good fun.